Hey guys, Paul here from Estate Agency Marketing. I've got a presentation that I want to share with you all. It's about AI search. So, are you ready for AI search? What I mean by that is um, your estate agency business, your lettings agency business. Are you going to get seen on these AI search results like ChatGPT, Google Overview, Bing Copilot? Are you going to get visible and get seen on that? Because things are obviously changing. I'm going to go through a lot of it on this deck. I've got a few slides. I'm just going to go through it. And the idea is that if you sit down, grab a coffee, grab a beer, whatever you want, go through this here, take some notes. At the end of it, you're basically going to have the the knowledge to sort of start implementing these practices now before your competitors do, and get those results, start reaping those rewards and stuff like that. Okay, so just quickly, a little bit about me for those of you that don't know. I've been working in digital marketing since 2015. I actually started off working with drink brands, which, as you can imagine, was a lot of fun. But I got a bit older, had a child, got married, become responsible a little bit. Um, so I kind of left that life, and I got working with estate agents. So I started estate agents 2018. I worked with Keller Williams. Um, there, I was helping agents basically on board and build those businesses. After COVID, I moved to EXP UK. That we now they have over 700 agents. Each of those agents would have come through me when they onboarded, and I would have helped them get set up with their business and showed them tips and strategies and stuff to basically get launched, get into production as quickly as possible. And then once they've been onboarded, they will then come back to me when they've got any questions and they've got any help with everything and stuff like that. So between working at Keller Williams and EXP plus having this business here, I've literally helped hundreds of agents launch their businesses, grow their businesses, and basically create better life for themselves. And I would say most of the stuff that I do for them is that digital marketing side of stuff. And I do help, obviously, and advise people when it comes to the traditional stuff. But most agents kind of get that practice anyway. They understand about canvassing and door knocking and attending networking events and being out there, building up referral networks and things like that. They kind of a lot of agents get that where they struggle. Their hurdles is basically getting that visibility, getting that brand awareness, build that trust, likability, and authority through digital marketing, so that you can then get those leads. Okay, and so that's kind of what I help with. And so that's kind of what I'm doing with this video here. Okay, so the agenda for this session is going to talk to you about how AI is going to affect your business, why you shouldn't ignore the shift, why it's a golden opportunity, what signals do AI bots look for, what measures do you need to take, and then I've got a checklist at the end of it that you can go through and implement into your business, and then you're gold. Okay, the first thing I want to say is the day we're the 3rd of July 2025. This is all of my understanding and knowledge as it at present when it comes to the AI, the world of AI search. Things will change. Okay, things always change when it comes to SEO, when it comes to ranking and getting visibility on Google and Bing and Yahoo and all these other search engines. It will always change when it comes to AI. This is the practice now. Good news is it's identical practice to what I would do working with a client, or offering advice and tips for a client that wants to be ranking on Google, for example. It is literally the same practices. You're probably just putting on another layer of content when it comes to being seen everywhere. It's not just now the website. You want to be making sure that your brand identity and your key messaging and all that kind of stuff is being seen all over socials, all over your website, on public other online publications and all that kind of stuff. But we'll go through it. Okay, so this is a good place to start, I feel, and I hope you can see this. I went onto ChatGPT and I went, have a break, and I pressed enter. Okay. And then they came back saying Kit Kat. They know that that is the slogan for Kit Kat. And I kind of knew this. This is why I did it. To be fair, I kind of cheated a little bit. But the reason why I've done it is because actually it's worth starting here, I feel. Okay. Now, the reason why ChatGPT and these AI search tools understand that that's the slogan from KitKat is because these bots are crawling the they're crawling websites, they're crawling social medias, they're crawling literally crawling everything. Okay, and this is machine learning, where KitKat have had that slogan like forever, but definitely since the internet, the birth of the internet, and all that sort of stuff. This has been their slogan, and so it's been mentioned like millions of times. So they just dominate that slogan now. Okay, it could be have a break. I don't know. Have a coffee before you continue with your journey or something. I don't know. It could be something to do with like truck drivers that spend too many hours driving on the road in Alaska or something. But it's not, because KitKat absolutely own that slogan. Okay. And if you're thinking about who you are as a brand, who you are, if you're sort of self-employed, independent, or you as an agency, if you've got, if you're a bit more your branches and stuff like that, what is your slogan? What is it you're trying to achieve and stuff? If you be consistently putting that out there and having other people consistently putting it out there on your behalf, then you're going to get picked up with that. Okay, and that's a cool thing to remember. Okay, did I skip one? I didn't. Here we go. How is AI going to affect your business? So the most important thing is probably point one up here. AI powered search will deliver direct answers, so fewer people may click on through the website. Okay, so what that is basically people are getting answers directly now on that AI feed. Okay, so and I'll show you some examples a bit later on about estate agents and stuff like that and how it looks on ChatGPT. But you don't necessarily need to visit websites now. Okay, now it's absolutely fine for an estate agent, because with estate agents, the way things have been working anyway, a lot of people don't go onto the websites and then contact them. They do, but it's not as much as it used to. A lot of the work that I would do for agents on their website, I'm basically doing so that they get a stronger, they get a stronger Google business profile or Bing places profile. Okay, so the map pack section, all that work I'm doing on the website, I'm doing ultimately so that when someone's on their couch on their mobile phone going, estate agent near me or something like that, they're going to pop up on that map pack because one, they've got the proximity, but secondly, they've got all that optimization that's been happening on the map pack and also on the website is going to put them in front of the right people. Okay, and it's the same thing when it comes to the AI, all that stuff you're going to do on the back end, on the site and all these other places, like I keep saying, like the social medias and stuff like that, these other channels and stuff. You're doing all of that so that you can get seen from those right kind of keywords, those right queries and stuff when people are searching for a local business, a local estate agent in the area. Okay. So yeah, that's kind of it. I'm going to share this presentation as well, so you can have a look at it and go through it all. I don't want this to be an hour long recording. Okay, so but you can read these points. So this is an example of what a website. I'm a terrible cook. I literally suck. And anything more advanced than baked beans and toast, I literally have to go onto my phone and Google it. Okay. Now you've got three images here. This is basically I've just done a screen grab of the entire page when I search for how to cook an artichoke. The one on the left, the first part of the website page you see on the left, that's literally talking about nonsense. It's talking about what is artichoke and yeah, I don't know, whatever, just nonsense. Okay, you've literally got to scroll, especially on your mobile phone. You've got to do a lot of scrolling until you found the answer on how to prepare and cook the artichoke. Okay, and so this was normal stuff. Like, to be fair, I even still use it now. I keep forgetting, like ChatGPT, just do it on ChatGPT. Okay, and I'll do it, and I've got to find the right website that looks like it's a dish and it's the style of that dish that I want to prepare. I've got to click it, and then got to scroll down and try and, amongst all this nonsense, try and find the recipe, the ingredients. What do I need to buy from the local shop and things like that. So even like talking about it now, it sounds quite medieval, and it's still a part of everyone's life today. But people are starting to wisen up and go, actually, ChatGPT just gives you a much quicker answer. So this is the response on ChatGPT. Same question. I appreciate this is quite small, so you might be able to read it. I can't even read it, to be fair. But it's basically, it's giving you how to prepare the artichoke, and it's going, method one is through boiling it, and method one is through boiling it, and method two is through baking it. It's done. It's just there. Thank you very much. Off you go with your day. Okay, so that's great. Okay, now you can do the same thing when you're looking for an estate agent in ChatGPT, and this is just an agent. It's a client. It's an agent, and it's basically an area of Birmingham. So I've gone into ChatGPT and said, best estate agent or local estate agent. I forgot what I put in now, in Bourneville, Birmingham, and then this particular client pops up. There's a few above him, but that's fine. He's there. I now know where he is in that AI kind of results thing, and I can implement more practice to get him further up. Okay, and we'll talk about that stuff in a bit. But that's how it looks on ChatGPT. It's not quite rolled out yet on Google AI, which is Google Overview. It's coming. It's in America. Everything starts in America with this sort of stuff. It does pop up every now and then in the UK, and I've got an example of it in a bit. And then it goes. So it's still like in this beta thing. It could literally land tomorrow. It could be in 3 months' time or 6 months' time. I just don't know at the minute, but it is coming. Okay, so all the work you can do now to prepare for that, when it does land, you've got a competitive advantage against all your competitors, basically. And the good news is it's not that difficult. Okay, so this is just how it looks at the minute on ChatGPT. Eventually, they'll update this, and there'll probably be some images and stuff like that, maybe a map and things. But at the minute, that's how it looks. Okay. The next slide I've got for you is why shouldn't you ignore the shift? The most important thing about why you shouldn't ignore it, I've kind of made it clear that this is the way. This is how it's going to progress now. Okay, so if you want to get found organically through search, you've got to do what I'm going to show you and be seen and be visible still on Google and still on your map pack and your Bing places and stuff like that. But you also need to be found on AI. Okay, now one thing that's worth mentioning to you here is when it comes to being visible on ChatGPT, you need to have an account on Bing. Okay, Bing is another search engine. So ChatGPT, I don't know if it's 100%, but they definitely scrape their most of their information from Bing when it comes to search. Okay, and then through Bing, they'll then probably go onto the social media platforms and stuff like that. Okay, Google obviously uses Google Overview. Okay, with Bing, you've also got Copilot, but ChatGPT, that Copilot they're competing with Bing. They're all competing. There's going to be others who ends up in 5 years' time being the Google equivalent of the AI search. Who knows? They might not exist yet. Okay, but at the minute they're three of the main competitors basically. Okay, so why you shouldn't ignore the shift is basically sooner you get cracking with it, the sooner you're going to get the results. Okay, and like I said, you can go for these little bullet points in your own pace. What have we got here? I built this a few days ago. I can't remember. Okay, so this is me asking ChatGPT. Okay, when finding data to answer, when finding, I'm dyslexic, so you got to forgive me. When finding data for answers, where do you search to collect and analyze information? Okay, and it's giving me a load of stuff. There's a link to it on the next page you can use. But on the bottom left here, that's like the summary of what it does. Okay, how it gets the data. So for general knowledge, it's from my training. This is a machine learning. Okay. For up-to-date info, I use search tools when you need it. Okay, so that's kind of like what's the traffic like on the M25 at the minute, or what's the weather going to be like tomorrow in Bristol or something. It's gonna get that kind of information. Okay. For your files and images, I analyze them locally. So I'm guessing it locally, it means like through my clouds and my computers and stuff. I don't actually know what that means, to be fair. But the bit that's useful and helpful for you right now is for general knowledge, it's from my training. Okay. And that takes me back to that have a break, have a Kit Kat. It's just learning. It's learning. It's learning. It's learning. So if I was an estate agent and I use my town a bit later on as an example, which is Woking, if I wanted to be seen in the eyes of these AI bots as being the go-to estate agent in Woking, I need to train it up. Okay, I'm going to go for that later, but basically, it's content. Okay, with SEO, this is another thing worth mentioning. With SEO, it was very much about you produce pages, you have the right kind of structure and content and keywords and stuff on those pages. You might then create some supporting pages to help boost that all up. But really, it's the page, the content, the keywords, and then getting backlinks. Can you get more backlinks, better backlinks to that page compared to your competitors? And that was kind of it, really, most of the time, especially with local SEO, which is what I do. Now it's getting data from not just all the stuff that you put out, but all the stuff that other people put out about you. Okay, and it's learning stuff. So, for an example, if I went to ChatGPT and I went, I need an emergency locksmith because I'm locked out of my house in Woking, it will analyze. AI will analyze who's out and about in your area as locksmiths. One of them might state 24/7 emergency cover, emergency call outs, or whatever, whatever the technical term is. They will probably bring that one to you because that's the one that's going it 24/7, like call outs. So that would be the perfect one in Woking for an emergency call out because they're open, they're available. Okay, it's machine learning. Okay, so what's this here? Okay, so now I think this was a part of the same question thread thing I had on ChatGPT. Okay, so I've asked it how it analyzes this data and stuff to give me these answers. I then gone, I'm a local estate agent and I want to brand my brand locally as being the best estate agent in the area for getting the best price when selling homes. What do I need to do to achieve this? And for you to learn that I am the number one agent within my community. Okay. And it's just given me everything. Okay. And I've got a link to this in a bit. It's telling me basically what I should do really to be seen as being that number one brand in Woking as being the estate agent. Okay. I've got a checklist as well that goes through it all. But what you can do is if you are on this deck, you can click that link. If you're watching this on a video or something, you can just quickly take a screen grab of that QR code, and then it will open it up. It opened up that thread on ChatGPT, and you can go through that, and hopefully that'll be really helpful for you. Okay, why there's a golden opportunity? Again, it's about getting there first, accepting this is the times, this is how it is now, being one of the sort of early adopters in your area and being like, okay, all this stuff I'm going to implement. A lot of it, I think most of you will be doing anyway. It's just take it up a notch. Okay, what is your unique selling point compared to all the other brands in your area, all the other estate agencies in your area and stuff? Really hit hard with that there. Okay, but again, you can read these bullet points. So this is my good old town, Woking. Okay, now on the bottom of this map, bottom center is basically where I live. You can't really see it. Estate agency marketing. That's me. There's no agents around there because it's not on the high street. Everyone, all the estate agency ones, they've got offices on the high street, which is in the center of that map. Okay. Now, if I was to be an estate agent and launch in Woking, I do marketing, so I'm a marketing guy. But if I was to then launch in as an estate agent in Woking, I'd first of all I'd have my business listing. I'm happy with it being at my postal address, if I was completely honest, and that is because there's just nothing but chimney pots there. I mean, to the south and the west of me, there's sort of farmland and canals and stuff. But above that, in places like Kingfield and maybe even like Hook Heath and stuff, there's no agents up there. It's literally some shops and parks and properties, chimney pots. Okay, so I would be the nearest agent to all of those chimney pots. So that is gold. Okay, that because proximity is a really big deal. Google and AI know where you're living because on the footer of your website and on your contact page, you've got your address, and any sort of business directories that you've got your address. And so they know where you're based. And so if someone's sitting in Hook Heath or Kingfield and going, estate agent near me, I'm going to be popping up because I'm the nearest one to them. And I'll take that all day long. Bear with me. Sorry, I thought I put this on there. Yeah, got me. And I'll take that all day long. Now, to sort of take on all these big plays in the town centre. Like in the town centre there, you've got Foxtons and Seymours and Bournemouth or whatever they're called. And I mean, literally every third building in estate agents at the minute. It's a bit ridiculous. They're all there. Now, they are national brands, right? They've got branches all over the country, all over this part of the country, and they're huge websites. And so some agents, when they look at that, they get a little intimidated by that, right? This is the wrong thinking, okay? Because you're trying to teach AI, whether it's Google and Bing AI or like ChatGPT and these AI search platforms and stuff. You're trying to teach them that you are the number one agent for your community. Okay, now Woking is an absolute smashing market for an estate agents. Okay, what you can do, and this is stuff that your competitors don't do, these big brands don't do. Okay, I'm going to pick on Foxtons. Okay, Foxtons will have a landing page on their website. They'll have a branch page on their website called Woking Property Sales and Lettings, or whatever they call it. Okay, and on that, it's got like meet the team, bit about Woking, their active listings, and that's kind of it. They'll have a few other bits and pieces, but that's pretty much it. Okay, other than that, Foxton's actually quite good. To be fair, Foxton's actually quite good with their SEO and stuff. So Foxton's will have a couple of little other location pages in and around that Woking area to help support that Woking community, but they don't have a little bit. Okay, so really, other than that, and maybe a couple other that landing page and a couple of these sort of supporting pages that I just mentioned, all they then got is the active listings, and that's it. Once the team that are in charge of their websites and SEO and stuff, once they've got that, they'll move on to the other branch. They've got things to do. They're a busy brand with branches up and down the country. Okay, you just want to focus on Woking. Okay, so you can basically have your homepage saying, localist agent covering Woking and surrounding areas. Okay, that's the homepage, umbrella location. You're talking about your services. You're talking about a little bit about the area of Woking and the market and stuff like that, and why people should rely on you. Why your clients see you as the best Woking estate agents, something like that. Okay, that's great stuff. It's all good keywords. Now, what you do then is you do drop downs. You've got two drop downs in navigation. One of the drop downs is all the services that you provide. So you provide sales, lettings, professional floor plans, drone footage, virtual tours, whatever you do, add them on separate pages on the services. This is going to help you stand out from others, because maybe you're the only one that got a page or some content on your website talking about how you do professional drone footage for properties. Okay, that's a unique selling point perhaps in your area. So any sort of unique services that you can help provide, have a separate page on your website about that, because this is going to get picked up by bots. Yeah. The other one is that you want to have the other drop down you want. It's all those micro markets. So I don't know if you can see this, but Woking is in the centre of it. So you can see all this is Woking. But places within Woking that are being picked up here are Knapp Hill, Goldsworth Park, Shearwater, Pryford, Kingsfield, Hookheath. There's others. You can even expand it to like West Byfleet and Bisley and West End, and you can expand it if you want to. Okay. Now the cool thing is that these other websites that are saying that they're specialist estate agents in Woking, they just got their one page Woking. You're now going, okay, I'll provide all these unique services for all the people in Woking to help them sell their home and move home. And within Woking, I've also covered these areas. Okay, so when it comes to Shearwater, you've got maybe a couple of sections talking about the local property market and current trends for properties in Shearwater. And then the second part of that page will be talking about how you are helping people move in Shearwater, why they should trust you to help selling their home when they're thinking of moving in or out or Shearwater or whatever it is. So you're just optimizing it. Okay, so now Google's going to look at your website and it's going to be like, okay, Paul Neal, he's a local estate agent. He covers Woking and surrounding areas. He does all of these cool services. He provides his services to each of these locations in and around that Woking community. You've suddenly got 20 pages that are optimized for Woking and the surrounding areas and stuff that your competitors don't have. Okay, once you've finished that, you then create those supporting content, and I've got a list of stuff that I can show you in a bit. Supporting content, they're going to be like, best things to do in Byfleet, best things to do in Pryford, best things to do in Shearwater. My predictions for the property market in Knapp Hill in 2026. And you repeat it for all the different locations and stuff. So you're putting out content constantly that's going out onto your blogs, going out onto YouTube videos, going out onto your social media posts and stuff. That is basically you talking about the local market in Woking. It's providing tips for people on how they can get the best price for their home in Woking. If you want to be recognised as the agent in Woking to get the best price for their property, first of all, achieve it, but then secondly, do those case studies, do those before and after to get testimonials, get people to mention it on testimonials how you got the best price. So like if the you predict the asking price was this, but you went over it, get that stuff mentioned, get case studies on it, get it mentioned on those reviews, do videos about it, hit it hard, because this is the sort of stuff that these bots will want to see, being going, okay, that's interesting, I like that. That's a neat part of this business unique selling point. This is a good reason for them to push you. Okay. Right, so I hope that makes sense. This is how it's going to eventually look on Google. It comes and goes. Okay, this is a particular agent in Carlisle. I basically searched for an area called Bella. I think I might be pronouncing it wrong, but Bella and Carlisle, and he's popped up. So on the right, you can see parts of content from his website. At the bottom, again, another link to his website, so people can still link to your websites and stuff. In that bit at the top, that AI overview bit, that is the bit that's called Google Overview. That is just taken from his website, a little description where if people wanted to, they can click that link and it'll take them to that page. And so this is kind of like how it's going to work now. But he's dominating this here, which is fascinating. Now, the reason why he's dominating that is because same practice that I just showed you with the Woken bit, you're going to have your market and you're going to start getting really local with and micro with it. Okay. So you're dominating it. Now, I'm living literally hundreds and hundreds of miles away from Carlisle. I just searched for a estate agent in Ballard, Carlisle, and it's popped up because he's got a page on that location. Okay. If I was sitting at my sofa having a cup of coffee and I was sitting in this part of Carlisle, Ballard, I went estate agent near me, he would pop up because he is this agent near him, near me. He's the local agent. He's got a pay. He's saying he covers Bella in Carlisle. He's going to pop up. Okay. So that's important to have those sub drop down pages for services and locations that help you with that umbrella location of your territory. Okay. This is kind of how these sort of search result things pan out with the Google Map Pack at the minute. Okay, so like on the left, you can see an area. There's some work to do in it. And there's some of these there's obvious reasons why. Like on the top left, sorry, on the top right, where you got the red there, this particular agent's not really going to be reaching that area because he's not covering. He's not his postal address, his office address, isn't anywhere near Banstead. And so on the top of that graphic there on the left, you can see Banstead. So there's agents there that are basically taking that part of that radius reach. Okay, so it's going to struggle to get that bit there, which is fine. It doesn't look like there's many people living there, to be fair. It looks like it just fills from where I'm looking now. But everything to the left, like there's work to do there. And so what I would do for this particular website, like I said, to do with the Woking one, and like I've just shown you with that agent in Carlisle, I'd actually have pages dropping down of areas covered, and I make sure that I include these areas that I want to improve. Okay, and then I'd make sure that when people are leaving reviews, okay, can you do me a favor? Can you mention the area, like what I did, was it sales, was it lettings, and the area and what it was, what part of that territory was it? Bring that in to that kind of review, because it's stuff that's going to help with that. Okay, same practice. It works for SEO for Google and Bing. It's the same practice. It's going to work on the AI. Okay, the one on the right there, that's just a site that is more optimized, more content, more management gone into it, more sort of preparation and stuff. It's gone into the website, and at the back of that, more it's sort of supported that Google My Business. Obviously, you need to do a bit more on Google My Business as well, to sort of optimize it more. But it's basically Google bots are picking up all this data that's about you on the website, and it's doing this. It's the same practice of how it will happen with the AI search. Okay, at the minute of AI search, you're not seeing this map type thing. That will probably come eventually, because I think it's a nice user experience thing to have. But it's collecting that data the same way as what Google's doing it. Okay, So that's just interesting. I spoke to you a few times about supporting pages, okay, and I've just got 10 here. The top bits, is like I said, have separate pages for the sub-location areas that you cover, separate service pages for each of the other services that you cover, frequent market updates for each location. So like maybe you've got a section on each of those areas that you cover where you can just update it each month for every 6 weeks, something like that, and just put in different stats about current market trends, how long properties on the market for until they get sold. How many active listings are there currently at the minute? Are you in a buyer or seller market? Like, just keep it active and stuff, and that can just you can probably, with some of your subscriptions, you might be able to just pull that in automatically. If not, you like, if you just set it up beforehand, it's just a case of copy and pasting a few stats every sort of 6 weeks to keep it up to date, really. Again, once you're updating that stuff there, because we're talking about getting seen on AI, and AI is getting your data from everywhere, not just the website. If you're going to do six like monthly or property updates on different markets in your area every sort of 6 weeks or something, when you get that data to put onto the website, use that data also and do a video, put that onto YouTube, put it onto your socials and stuff. Also do a still graphic, put that onto your socials, and put it onto everywhere else. Maybe you can get speaking to some local companies in your area, local online magazines and stuff, and be like, look, would you be interested in a quick monthly market update to put on your magazine? They might be interested in that, right? And so suddenly now you could be the in-house property market professional on that magazine, and on that magazine it'd be like, here's this month's property market update from Paul Neal, the local Woking estate agent or something. Okay, so you're getting that Paul Neal local Woking estate agent, and you're getting that data. This is all stuff that's going to get read from the bots. Okay, now these supporting pages, these are pages that help you support. So you do the top stuff first. You do those sub-location pages. You do those separate service pages, and you can do some support stuff. Why Woking is a great place to live? Why Shearwater is a great place to live? Why West Byfleet is a great place to live? Why Knapp Hill is a great place to live? Okay, how to prepare your property for successful sale in Woking, Knapp Hill, all these other places, and you can mix it up. Like you can like, how do you prepare for a successful sale in Knapp Hill? Knapp Hill might have a beautiful florist, so you can include that into it. Maybe um, maybe Knapp Hill. Well, Knapp Hill's there's a really nice Sainsbury's here, and there's a couple of nice pubs. Okay, so include those into your marketing. Like your suggestions. Like when someone's preparing a home for a sale, maybe it's worth, you can suggest, having a booklet talking about local amenities and stuff, and going like basically you're just giving advice. Ultimately, they're going to come and speak to you and get you to sell their property. But my point is, you can make each of those pages unique, because each of those locations are unique. You can add different details into those tips, because it's different locations. Okay. Uh, Best schools, questions to ask an estate agent when selling their Woking property. What are the most popular streets in Knapp Hill, West Byfleet, Woking, Hook, Heath, and all those other areas in and around Woking? How the property market, how the, sorry, dyslexic. How the property market has changed in location over the past 100 years, 50 years, 5 years, whatever. Take your preference, it's up to you. Get that data from your tools, put it out again, put it out onto blogs, put it onto YouTube, put it onto your socials. See if you can get that stuff into some of those local publications, online publications, and then off you go. And then there's other stuff there. I've got loads of content that you can get if you wanted it. You've just got to sign up to my Lead Gen Academy. So the QR code later on, sign up to that. You get all of my training videos. You get access to all of my bonus content. You get a free guide that shows you how to generate leads using Facebook ads and stuff. It's all pretty cool stuff. Plus, you get invites to attend like my webinars and stuff. So yeah, that's that. Next, what signals do AI bots look for? It's just there for you. So go through it. I want to talk about schema in a bit more detail, actually. I'll do schema now, and then I'll move on. I need to wrap this up pretty quickly. Schema is huge. Okay, so you need to really have schema, and I can do a video about that actually soon. But schema is, you've got your website, and then you're adding schema to it, and that schema is basically it's easier for bots to read and understand. Okay, so you can go, this is my business, it's my business brand, my business name, my business opening hours. Here's some reviews. You're adding it all onto a schema, so it's just very easy and quick for bots to grab it. Okay, service pages, you can do, like on your service pages, you can do a little recap on a schema going, these are the core services I provide when it comes to drones, agent-led videos, virtual tours, floor plan. You can just do like you can use schema to just really help bots just find it, and if bots can find it, they're going to use those on the results. What these AI bots want is to give really fast, helpful, insightful answers to its users, and they can grab that really quickly if you've got schema on your site. Okay, I will do a video on that, but try and remember that schema. Another thing you can do with schema is FAQs. So if I do blogs and things now for me and for my clients, I'll add I'll add some FAQs to it, and then the FAQs will then get added to the schema of that particular article too. Okay, so Google bots, AI bots can quickly grab that and be like, right, this is useful stuff. When someone's in Woking going, when is the best time to sell my Woking property? I might have that schema that they like about when is the best time to sell your Woking property, and it's coming from Paul Neal, the local Woking estate agent. They can read that and be like, that's helpful. I'll click that link to read a bit more about it, and hey presto, they're on their site. They can now call you and email you, request a valuation or whatever it's going to be. Okay, so schema is the most important thing to remember out like that. What measures do you need to take? So I've just got a list here, but actually the checklist it talks about each one of these separately. Okay, so prioritize topical authority through content. You mentioned here prioritize topical authority through content. EEAT. EEAT stands for experience, expertise, authority, and trust. Okay, so it's content basically. Everything. If you haven't got the message yet, it's content. Relevant, helpful content all over the internet is what you need. Okay, so when I said to you earlier on today, earlier on in this session, have those drop down for services, drop down for areas covered, and then do supporting content to support each of those services in each of those locations. That's you building authority. That's you showing expertise and experience. That's you building trust through that content. Okay, so you're doing that one because AI and Google bots and all these bots are going to see it, and so they're going to go, I trust this website, I trust this agency, they know what they're doing. But ultimately, if they're seeing it and they're trusting it, then also the people who are seeing your YouTube videos and your social media content and stuff, they're going to be seeing it not as frequently as the bots, because the bots are just an overdrive crawling the web, but people in the community will be seeing the content and they're going to start going, I trust this agency. They know what they're talking about. They've got some great case studies. They've got some great helpful content and stuff like that. They are top of mind. So it's the same practice. Everything you're doing now, everything you should be doing now to win the hearts and minds of your local community, it's the same kind of stuff you should be doing with the bots, but you're taking it up to that next level. Okay, so checklist: prioritize topical authority through content. Make structured data your standard practice. Okay, I'll do a video on that there next week. Then you got double down on Google reviews, or Google business profile, but your reviews as well. And then the thing called NAP is name, address, phone number. Okay, but that's a little bit outdated now. It's actually name, address, phone number, email address, website address, like everything else. Okay, but it's got to be consistent. If my website is Paul Neal local Woking estate agent, that needs to be on my all of my listings. It needs to be on, like my map listings. It needs to be on all of my business directories. It needs to be on everything. That is it. Paul Neal Woking local Woking estate agent. Email, telephone number, address. It's all the same. Okay, so it's everywhere. These bots can see that and be like, this site's legit. There's about 50 business directories linking to it. There's about 50 local organizations linking to it. When I talk about backlinks, so you got two links, okay, which are huge for SEO. The first one is the business directories or citations. Okay, that's having that Napster on Yelp, Yale 192, all of them. Okay, even the industry ones, like having a listing, having a citation on property portals and things like that. Okay, but get about 50. Start with 50. It's a good number to start with. Okay, the other one is not a citation; it's a backlink. It's a general backlink. Okay, so you can start doing some local PR with people. You can start talking to um, local schools. Okay, and you can be like, hey, I want to make a deal with you where, in exchange for a backlink on the footer of your website and a link on each of the emails of their newsletters that go out. Okay, which is pretty good, pretty good. Let's say the website has got 10 pages and they might post a blog once a month, like some sort of update thing on it. As soon as you get a link to their footer, that means now that every page on that website has got a link to you. And schools are really good. Schools are really trusted by AI because they're local organizations, and quite often they're like .gov kind of URLs, and so they're very trusted. Okay, so that's a great one. Having a local school linking to you is great, and then you can basically go, like, in exchange for all of that, I'll give you 1% of each of my fees, or 0.5% of each of my fees, where you can put towards laptops and school dinners and whatever else. Okay. Also, sponsoring things, sponsoring car boot sales and school, kids sporting events and charities, all that sort of like being involved. Some you don't have to sponsor it through money, just being involved, bringing in hampers, just taking a few hours off on a Saturday afternoon just to go in and help them do various bits and pieces. You're sort of being a part of it, and in exchange, trying and get some sort of links coming back from that particular event page or organization page, linking back to your site. Again, it's a local business giving you a shout out. So it's you basically spending most of your time being an estate agent and providing expert services and knowledge on how people can move homes, sell homes, and stuff like that. But then also using some of that time of yours to lean into that community, be a part of that community, and try and open doors with getting people to talk about you online, share links back to your website online, and things like that. Okay, so that's a really important thing to remember. The rest of the checklist are here. That's the rest of it here. Now, the last thing really is this one here. So you can scan this here and it takes you to my landing page to download to become like a part of that Lead Gen Academy thing that I spoke about. I'm really not salesy. I'll send an email once a week with like my favorite how-to video that I may have created that week or something like that, or maybe a reminder that I've got another webinar coming up. That's pretty much it. But other than that, you can get access to this here. You can get access to this guide you can see to the left and the right of the QR code. Plus, there's loads of videos and content guide. There's loads of bonus content and stuff on that as well. So if that's something you're interested in, just scan that. It'll definitely help you grow your estate business. Okay, that is it from me. I hope this is helpful. If you've got any questions, then don't hesitate to reach out to me. I'm here to help, either through like an agency client relationship, or actually just you reaching out to me and going, look, Paul, I've got a few questions. Can you help answer them or something like that? I'm always down for helping people that way as well. I like to be a giver. That's it. Thanks for listening. I'll speak to you again soon. Bye.